I'm just going to preface this with, holy shit, this might be the coolest thing we've ever done. Last weekend, Team Shut Up and Sit Down took part in an event run by UK group the Megagame makers. Who are they? Read the video description. Our game would be about aliens arriving on planet Earth in 2016, and we would be playing the nation of Japan. Here's how that worked out for us.
Oh, by the way, did you just see in the manual that creating your assault team takes 6 turns, which is half the game?
When the game began, the year was 2016 and the nation of Japan had nothing to worry about. Which, of course, didn't stop us from worrying.
Everything will be fine.
My biggest concern at this stage is the fact that our main military ally is America. And the American team are over in the corner of the room. And they all have special jackets with the logo of today on it. So I've sent Paul off. Basically, Paul has to, and Paul is the perfect man for this job, actually. Because what Paul has to do is maintain excellent relationships with everyone whilst really not doing anything.
20 minutes in, we got something real to worry about as flying saucers appeared over the Middle East, and we found ourselves woefully underprepared for the realities of global politics.
So it's all kind of kicking off. This turn started with us all sending secret agents into India and Iran where the aliens arrived. Then all of the UFOs in the world arrived. And then all of our interceptors arrived. So it's basically World War III in South Asia. It's going to be fine, though. It's going to be fine.
Conversations with our allies about. Other than that, everything's very good.
Okay, brilliant. Well, thank you very much, and just have a prosperous day.
Why did I do that? Why did I just told the press that we heard disturbing things from Iran. Why did I do that?
You did what?
I told the world media that we'd heard disturbing things from Iran that we'd have to have conversations with our military allies about.
What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. It just came out. I don't know where it came from.
I can't go to the UN meeting, unfortunately, but I do need to. Where's Paul? Have I got Paul's number? I'm not sure I've got Paul's telephone number. Have you got Paul's telephone number? Yes. Okay.
Mr. Prime Minister, I can't believe you don't have your...
I know, it's
your foreign ministers.
Can you text?
I can call him. No, I can't.
Can you not call him?
Well, he's in the UN.
Just call him. This is urgent.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Matt was confused because he's an imbecile, yes, but also because of restrictions on what we could eavesdrop on. Only military players could visit the world map, only foreign ministers could witness the UN, and only the dozens sinister alien players could venture behind this curtain.
Paul, this is very important. You need to take a stance on Iran. You need to make clear that we are working with America to take a stance on Iran. I don't know why Iran specifically, but you need to do that. You need to say something about it at least, right? And have a good reason for it, why we need to do something about Iran.
This is. So now the smoke is cleared. We shot at one of the UFOs. It wasn't a decoy this time. It left trailing smoke. One problem is that, while the aliens are sort of infiltrating India and Iran, our agent is in Pakistan, which is neither of those countries. I panicked, basically. Everyone was putting lots of things down. People were yelling at me. Right. So in no particular order, we all sent special agents into the infected countries. So there was a sort of spy party thing happening there.
So where did you send them to?
North India. Well, I sent mine to Pakistan, which is between Iran and northern India.
Okay, fine.
Which I thought would give me a bit of flexibility. Here's the cool thing about those characters, right? The James Bond type special agents we can deploy.
They allows for diplomatic stuff,
yes,
right?
But also we're thinking too much like board gamers and video gamers. It's basically a role-playing game. They can do whatever we want. If we want to assassinate a president, if we want to poison a water supply, if we can come up with anything, we just tell a moderator and they come up with a dice roll for it. And then
Is that why somebody came and did a dice roll on our table halfway through that?
Presumably.
Could you do something or did someone else do it?
No, but
fuck.
Throughout all of this, the official stance of the world's governments was that aliens did not exist, which we decided, probably because we hadn't had breakfast, was unacceptable.
Oh, I can't wait till you tell Paul this.
We've heard about your problems with not being able to ring stuff the UN. Also, militarily, everybody is...
No, go on.
Everyone is invading everywhere as an opportunity to get their hands on alien tech. That's all the world cares about right now. I had a word with Matt. We're thinking about going public with the information so we can then actually present a unified global front against the aliens.
That's what the US would like to do as well.
Well, we're going to do it first because we don't want the US to get that glory.
So, guys, the Terra Tracker is currently at 26.
Out of 50?
50 is a red number, and 51 as well. So, yeah, you're more than halfway to something bad.
Okay, well, we're going to save the world.
The Terra.
The Terra Tracker.
No. The problem with Terra Tracker is that military are moving around the world, causing unrest, causing fear. We need to remove that with this fucking release. All right?
We're deploying. We've got like a minute to figure out what we're spending up. Oh, those are points.
No.
And so, while Brendan was busy presenting theories to the scientific community that he'd spent whole minutes devising,
My theory is that the threat, as in Japan we call them, the problem, are neither expansionists nor are they colonialists, but rather closer to big game hunters. Very much. Thank you.
I was failing to film Matt's rallying speech about the existence of the aliens.
Any wars in progress now agree a temporary ceasefire. They may retry circumstances that are unchanged.
I made the announcement.
It was very grand. We didn't film it, unfortunately, but it was spectacular. People were falling over themselves. It was women and were throwing flowers and babies. It was very rousing. It was a real shame you didn't film it.
Need to roll PR.
When you do your PR, whatever the big minus
We'll be at -6.
that's -3.
Britain was annoyed.
Perhaps let the community of nations know before you make such an announcement. My problem being is that I just announced locally that fifth columnist crop circlists had yet been in action, and it appears that may not have been the case.
I apologise.
China was annoyed.
China's very worried about its borders and sovereignty.
America was annoyed.
Fully mobilise traditional forces and just deal with it.
Very expensive.
We're willing. We have resources.
Well, you may have to loan us because we took a big hit with the unexpected. We agreed we'd control the global statement.
We have military forces that we can.
Cost us $7 billion gone in PR activities, martial law in some areas.
Our Prime Minister had an agreement with you that we sent an agent into India and investigate the government, and now you're just becoming
We're trying to do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're just becoming allies with a nation that's potentially nuclear.
Well, we're trying to start diplomatic relations. You are. And we're just doing it a different way than you are.
Right, whereas we're finding out whether they're trustworthy, you're just becoming their friends.
Yeah, well, then we hopefully have a little chat. Yeah.
I enjoyed the supreme indignity of the American commander telling Matt my spies in India had failed.
Go on.
Your diplomatic, your visit to India didn't go very well. You've just been bounced.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So we'll see what we can get.
So, is it general? Is it under alien control? I need to know.
No, it's not at the moment. Not as far as we know.
But somehow everything was coming up roses for bloody Brendan.
In recognition of Japan's great scientific ability, I have been awarded a Nobel Prize for Engineering. It's been... I'm just worried someone's taking it away from me. Oh, they're just amending it. It was awarded in 2020, not 2022.
An amazing thing has happened. The world held its breath, and when I told everybody not to stop breaking international law, we all actually stopped. The only countries to respond to the invasion are the NATO countries, meaning that the terror track has not increased. China, Russia and Japan, and the US, I think, have all relaxed, kept our interceptors in their bays, which is good.
I should also say that I've been to the grey market. And we've got some red mercury, which is going to... I guess it's going to do something.
And then even he started having problems with the Americans.
No, have you got red mercury?
We can figure it out. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We'll do it.
It's a straight
We'll do it.
Yes or no.
Look, we're going to research. We're going to
red-
research these, and it'll be fine. It'll be okay.
Have you got red mercury?
I'm afraid I have to.
Did you see the top story in the sidebar?
Yes.
Well, look, it's a straightforward yes or no. Do you have a card that says red mercury?
We can do it.
Have you
We
got
can
a
do
card
it.
that says red mercury?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're the
Why
one
not?
that's going around accusing us of not sharing.
Well, you have been sharing all these pieces of paper with the UK, and we've not had a single thing from you, despite you saying at the very start that we have an alliance.
We do, and the agreement was that
Well,
I
it's
would
very
share.
different.
Followed by a crash course in what stonewalling really looks like.
The might.
Last year we.
The might. Oh, I am in awe. I am in awe of your scientific experience.
We have more than enough trade.
Like I've said, I mean everything that we've come across, has been nothing really. We've had like little.
Shit! Which is something you wouldn't know until it happened. Once you go past 50 points, everybody drops one level. Which you just did this time.
One PR level.
But you've already went past one of those break points, you've gone past two of them.
The biggest problem I've got at the moment is just keeping track of what's actually happening. I barely have any time to go and actually talk to other countries because I'm so busy just receiving information from these guys and trying to assemble it whilst dealing with the requests and conversations. Yeah, it's impossible. I now kind of feel sorry for actual world leaders when they don't know what's going on in Norwich. The thing I'm really liking about this so far is the fact that so many people here before have played this game and these games so many times. They know how to game them, they know how to game the system. And I think that they came over to us early in the game to try and kind of control us because on that basis. And the same way people do with board games. People that I've played this game loads of times, I know how to do it. And I think that whilst it might not have been a good idea in the long run, us revealing the aliens this early in the game has thrown a colossal spanner in the works because it's just obviously something that is not a done thing.
What Matt didn't know is that one of the whole points of Megagames is player creativity, but we were about to find out.
Where's this claim come from, if you don't mind me asking?
I know that Japanese people don't normally eat much in the way of dairy. Would you like to try French camembert cheese? We wonder where the cheese is coming from. It's coming from France, of course. Thank you very much.
So that's aliens not wanting cheese over there, that's where the brain came from. I'm going to have to camembert. Alright. I don't even like cheese. Has it been spiked by aliens? I can't believe they said we're fucking stinking. They've just been. Sorry, I got distracted by cheese temporarily. That somebody's claimed that we've been trading research with the aliens, which isn't true because frankly we've hardly bloody done any research. And secondly, Brendan, what? You haven't been trading alien research, have you? No. Good. So, good.
With the aliens?
Yeah.
No, I haven't even been in touch with the aliens.
Somebody, and I couldn't confirm who, has claimed that we've been trading alien technology with. We've been trading with the aliens. Yeah, I know.
We haven't though, right?
The thing is,
we actually have.
No, we haven't. Right?
All I know is there's a problem with the grey market. It's holding things up. It's originating from.
Somebody is fucking telling lies. We have been working with Japan and Britain to bring world peace. Why are they coming to New York if we've been working with them?
Have we?
No.
This is unbelievable. They haven't even filled in that column. That's very unprofessional.
That is.
That's a lot of white space. Basically, we just got a front page that said that the aliens come in peace, and it was a statement released by the aliens saying that they were working with Japan and Britain to come in peace. Whether they come in peace or not, we don't know, but we definitely haven't been working with them, and somebody is basically sowing misinformation.
Meanwhile, I dispatched a spy on a tremendously unsexy mission to see what the aliens were even doing in Turkey.
The thing is, you're working against each other. You're doing exactly trying to keep each other from doing what you're doing. So it's just the highest roll wins, and for the points you put in, you get a +2 modifier.
Okay, +2. Okay.
Do I get anything for home turf? We've got the big.
That's why he gets a +2 instead of more.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Basically, you have now discovered that under. What you have now discovered is that in eastern Turkey, under Mount Ararat, there is an alien base.
Right. Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Brendan, we're going to need some science. We're going to need as much science as you can muster.
What science do you need?
At this point, our intrepid cameraman dared venture beyond the forbidden alien curtain.
Conclave, I'm afraid I have very urgent news that I will cut in with. A Japanese agent successfully infiltrated our base. He has escaped to report to his superiors.
Okay, so we can expect the base is compromised.
The base is compromised but still operational. What they do with that will be the interesting thing.
Certainly.
Well, another reason to sign up to Japan. Yeah.
Just like the question is, will they tell the world?
I imagine so.
Because we don't want their tech. They're going to get a shed load of tech out of that.
Well, we can rig it for disruption if necessary, but then if we keep the psyops there to defend it, the psyops team will be gone.
I think the aliens are going to come and assassinate everybody.
Oh, snap.
But no, if we sit it out, then it's going to look like we're in on it.
Well, it doesn't matter.
No,
it's not. It's fake anyway.
Just come up with some bullshit.
It was then we received a request from America wanting to trade our live alien, which Brendan had bought at the grey market like so much chopped liver, for theirs.
Okay. I need to talk to my researcher about that, but bear with me 1 second. I've just got something else I need to do first. Basically, we've got France probably going to send in some people to help us defeat this base. If not, though, I'm actually going to put a lot of points into operations so that we're going to send in everything. I'm really worried about doing this, though, because what if we lose everything? What if we lose our entire force? We're going to look like dickheads. We're going to look like international dickheads. But the problem is, I don't know who we can trust.
Great. Preemptively explode, so they don't get the victory of having rolled into it.
This is all very defensive. They've got us on the defensive. Why are we not? We should be doing something up. Because we've concentrated in one place, stayed still, we've not been doing anything that's actually destabilised them. They've grouped together and it works out where we are. We need to do something, not just defend.
I think our plan is we're going to take the alien base, XCOM style.
With friends or without.
We're going to,
And this could be the second enormous coup for us. Do you want to get the press release ready? The thing is, if we've got if this is an international, otherwise it'll just look like we're invading.
Quantity has a quality all of its own. Mass wins. It will not.
Don't mean to take you away, Japan's being invaded.
Guys, get down here, get on board! Shift, one of you!
Chris! Move! You want help?
Yes. Japan is putting an open invitation to anyone who wants to help clear our skies.
Hey, Nathan.
Any other interceptions?
There are 2 more alien craft coming. Someone else has got them.
On the exact turn that we leap into action, this happens.
How opposed are you ground troops?
Extremely opposed.
Our ground troops.
100% opposed.
So if you humans want to redeploy, that's fine.
Hey! America's invaded.
Do your intercepts. You know how to do it. You do it without anybody intervening. So we're going to do it first. So you point. Do you want to do it?
So, in summary, the Japanese launches its heroic assault on Turkey for reasons.
Nothing there?
Meanwhile, the Japanese skies fill with UFOs, and 2 American spies have landed on our shores.
So, in a way, our relationship is a way for our conclave to demonstrate to the other conclaves that actually things can be progressed without conflict.
Yes.
And I hope the gift assists you in that. Obviously, you have one of our crew that we would.
We've actually got him back, and we're trying to get the one off the Japanese.
I think the conclave, one of the conclaves at the moment, because of what happened with Japan, have taken certain action to sort of send a message to the Japanese that we will not sort of stick by and watch their behaviour, but rest assured that we will not interfere with yourselves.
And you've noticed I haven't sent my interceptors outside the US airspace.
It has been appreciated. I hope you have seen that we have kept any of our activity away from yourselves.
The Turkish are claiming it's one of their own.
Does it look alien?
No, it looks like it's been made out of local materials.
Well, so this time was a wash. The UFOs around Japan were all destroyed. The alien base is empty, and the 2 American spies that showed up on our shores are only there to apparently establish an embassy and make sure everything's fine. So, I hope Brendan and Matt have had more luck.
I feel with Japan, for example, at the moment, they've felt that the Japanese need to be taught a lesson after their attack on our establishment. We had a small scientific team who were interfered with by the Japanese in another nation. As we understand, you have different sovereignty, yet the Japanese seem to have been able to come in.
I must say that the world is panicked and afraid people make irrational actions.
Yes, and
we perhaps would benefit from some sort of formal UN conference to agree some sort of peaceful coexistence.
And that may be possible in the future.
That must mean France is fucking in on it. They were the only people we told.
Yeah, but unless the aliens were only there temporarily anyway, or the aliens.
Why would they build a base and then leave it?
Well, I tell you why. The last time when I found out the base existed, Matt was now under a full PSYOPs assault from the alien team, which means the game controllers start feeding you a steady stream of total bollocks.
I just had information that apparently the aliens have been trying to infiltrate our government and have failed to do so, and also to infiltrate not only our government but the people close to us, our bodyguards, my bodyguards.
How did you get? Who told you that?
One of the game maker.
From somebody in the Japanese team.
Yes, sure.
You just stand looking baffled.
Okay.
I'm worried I'm going to get assassinated. I'm really worried. But as all good politicians do, I've been legit. I haven't done anything bad. I'm going to get killed.
I can't believe that base was evacuated.
I need to talk to the fucking Prime Minister.
So we didn't find anything?
Neither us nor France found anything. It was totally
We're in
empty.
such a bad situation now.
But to be honest, that's okay. If our spy and all this caused the enemy to evacuate a base, that's presumably a way to really...
Didn't piss off Turkey?
No, because we used some diplomatic muscle. And NATO went in with us, who's closer to Turkey than Japan is, so...
What was I going to say?
American spies are in our country and I don't know why.
Well, I've just learned from the Vice President that an alien came down in Anchorage and it was basically a hostage swap they gave back one of their aliens as a gesture of goodwill. We've got an alien. And Matt and I are trying to figure out what to do with it.
Have you got some live media
Yes,
crew?
we do.
Can I have them? Because they've just been liberated by an...
I thought that's why they were coming.
By a team that was wearing cowboy hats and having very strange accents.
You've got to be shitting me.
So,
You've got to be shitting me. We'd been betrayed by our only ally. In retrospect, we could have handled this better. I'd like to know exactly how public we want to go about the American spies stealing our alien.
That's a good question. I know nothing about this. Let me speak to the Joint Chiefs of Staffs and the State
we need to know
Department.
right now how public we should go.
But I can assure you that as allies, we would never conduct covert operations.
We saw
in your
2
country.
covert operatives in our nation last time. We know you did this. I say we go
Well, they
public.
obviously weren't very covert operatives, but they weren't American.
I
know
know
for
that
a
we just
fact
set up
CIA
diplomatic
are
agencies
operating in
there.
Japan.
We now agreed.
You want something in writing.
Oh, yeah. All right. My vice president.
Liberals.
Alright. We're cutting off all ties with America. They have been working with the aliens without communicating with us, and they have actually, we had an alien operative captured that we were going to interrogate, which has now been stolen from us by a US spy.
Okay.
And yeah. In fact, actually, if you could protect my identity with that, that would be lovely. Do your best.
God, I'm so angry.
So angry.
Right, so I've probably just inadvisably written a press release explaining that our relations with the US government are now over after a spy stole an alien from our
Base without permission, and also they've been in contact with the aliens without talking to us.
What is that? Maybe you should explain that.
Quinns is now in charge of the world's alien defense forces, and it's rotating leadership, and it begins with us.
And then we're so gutted we didn't get that alien base. It goes to Russia. Oh, and we actually got 3 things from it. The guy just came up to me just now, gave us 3 pieces of tech.
So the janitors went through it and found 3 things
a cupboard that they forgot to clean out.
team
something
didn't
I
see.
can announce at the UN, or something we can go public in, even
Can we,
just
you know
one
what?
of these.
Who are we talking about?
When you go publicly at the UN, make it clear that we will be sharing all of our technological advancements with the new alliance that we're now a part of.
Yeah, but
We've
we'll need to
joined-
research all this stuff.
Yeah, we'll get on that now.
Okay.
But,
actually, you know what?
But make it clear that we are making great progress with research, and we will be sharing the fruits of this with our allies.
Give me like one thing I can name.
Okay. I don't know how much I can trust
The
China.
entertainment system, Japan will love that.
No, but really, that was in
There's
our,
an
that was
alien
in our team
entertainment.
briefing. We had to use alien. We had to see if we could use alien tech to improve our economy. Well, the thing is, if we can make the announcement about raiding the alien base, getting tech, chasing them out, that's good. Joint operation between France and Japan.
Would you like me to do that? Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Almost certain. Well, what does
It
it?
was, yeah, of course it was. Look, we got 3 things and nobody died. It's
Okay.
successful.
Done.
And we say with the aid of France?
With the aid of France. France seem to be above board. The people I don't trust are America and China.
Yeah.
And in the game.
Would you like to say that, or would you like me to? I can go to
No,
Becky
you go,
and say
you
that.
go. So ends my reign of the...
Shake. Hold that for the corner.
So ends my reign of the world's military forces, passing it to the tremendously responsible nation of Russia.
We, the people of Russia, are happy to accept this thing and look forward to combined humanity defence against the evil alien attack.
Weirdly, though, there were no aliens this turn. Like, total silence for the first time in the game.
Nobody's ever touched Russia.
I wish I could say the same. The skies were totally quiet, and all we had, and this is weird, there was a mass invasion of alien Asians, individual Asians, in South America, and America did nothing about it. It was weird.
There's a world broadcast from the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom.
Attention, galactic travellers and citizens of Earth. You have witnessed the combined firepower of the secret weapons of the human race. Once again, we offer an open hand to your rubbery tentacle, and we invite you to address humanity. But shun this message, and know that humanity will defend itself and the planet Earth forevermore. Thank you.
Do we have secret weapons? Do you know anything about secret weapons?
No, I don't, but at least it means the UK are actually on our side and not working with the aliens.
Guess what happened on the world map?
What?
Nothing.
Did we manage to get rid of the spies in our...
Oh, well, yeah, we did a massive joint operation with China. As far as we could tell, we got rid of the Americans, but everything else seemed okay.
Okay, fine.
But we don't know for 100% sure because the dice roll wasn't very good. Also, the only other weird thing you should know, no less than 3 alien spy units arrived in South America. America did nothing about it. South America is now infested, like sort of infected tokens all over South America.
We were told that there's a potential that people are trying to infiltrate the business operations within Japan, so we might need to invest a spy into looking into that.
Okay, let's see what this says. Japan cuts ties with US over aliens. That is exactly what we want. Journalists just hoover anything you say up, don't they, Matt?
Well, that's what I said.
Japan has cut ties with the US after it revealed that it had been in touch with a section of the alien invaders named Conclave 2. Fuck, what a scoop. Nobody says scoop. Russia captures aliens? That might backfire for them. Japan and Britain deny alien claims. The governments of Japan and the UK have unreservedly denied claims that they've received advanced technology from the aliens. So this paper has gone...
Is it all kosher?
Yes, it's gone all our way.
See?
Everything we've wanted to say has come out in every way.
Oh, this is boss. Look at that headline, Japan.
So that's really good.
With the US. You couldn't have written this better yourself.
That's your PR.
US. This is great. Oh, holy shit! Look at that. I'm gonna go do a war.
We've got to get a ceasefire with the aliens, right? Now, absolutely. What I want to negotiate is they don't attack us, we don't attack them. We absolutely defend our airspaces. We're prepared to cooperate with you on this and have a joint Japan-US exclusion zones.
Do you have operatives in our country?
No. Well, we don't anymore.
I'm doing it. I'd like to be the nice guy that talks to everyone, but I'm just being an arsehole. I'm being an arsehole.
For some reason, despite our weapons-grade grumpiness, the USA wasn't losing any momentum.
People of Earth, I have historic news from the United States of America. I recently met with one of the alien representatives who was on a diplomatic mission to the United States of America. We've agreed with the aliens that if we show no hostile acts, they will in return show no hostile acts themselves. It is important that we, the world, agree a ceasefire with the aliens so that we can now enter into peaceful dialogue. Those nations that continue to attack the aliens will be met with aggressive force. And as you've seen, the aliens are very technologically advanced. It would be in our best interests to cease fire, to negotiate with the aliens, but be prepared to aggressively defend our sovereign territories. We intend to take this to the UN and get an agreement with the nations of Earth. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It feels like we picked a good time to cut up ties with the US.
They want us to work with the UN, and they're the only people this time who didn't give the UN control of their military units.
Russia has said that they'll represent us at the UN because we're not going to be there anymore. I don't know.
Why are we not going to be there?
We're only a temporary member. Like it cycles.
Yeah.
It doesn't get renewed.
It's actually, of all the countries, weirdly, despite like real life Russia, you representing you, the people playing Russia today are just all really straight up nice people. Have you encountered that? No? Okay. So apparently...
I don't, he might be in character, no, but the guy at the UN has been either aggressively filibustering or he's been, he's really good at stonewalling. He is like just
Okay, well, actually, their Prime Minister is a stand-up dude.
But it might be that he's representing their policy of just...
Oh, there comes the news.
It doesn't stop, it doesn't stop.
US meets with aliens, agrees peace. Oh, it's just what they announced. That is a hell of a picture, by the way.
Wow. This is the most important thing, though. Research based on alien technology produces new Japanese video console.
So, you need your stuff on the map now.
Okay, right, I'm going.
I think it's time for my new tie. Can you pass me my tie? It's in my bag. You see, it's come to a point where Japan now is no longer satisfied with being a mere pawn in the world scene. We will be the new leader. And leaders need red ties.
A Tupperware container of justice.
Despite PR victories, we were in a tight spot. No sooner had we cut ties with America than the world slipped into a cold war. Some players knew alien secrets, those who didn't, like us, lived in fear. But everyone wanted alien technology.
So, I'd heard rumours that our head of research was kind of a bizarre charlatan. But it turns out we've just been informed by one of the game makers that other countries are spending their research credits to hire additional researchers to look into stuff. But I didn't even know that you could do that with research credits. I thought that the only use for research credits was so you could try and get Nobel Prizes. And Nobel Prizes, how do they affect us as a nation, Japan?
That's 3 interceptor craft, 1 spy, 1 assault team that should let us respond to whatever happens. We have, I just don't like how little information we have as to what's happening. To begin with, it was easy to see where the aliens had landed and where they'd seeded their own spies and where they'd sort of compromised governments. Now, no idea.
Can I see how many research tokens you have in your pocket currently? Just hold them up to the camera for me.
Well, I mean, I don't know if
I haven't
it's...
seen them. I'm intrigued.
I just don't know if it's relevant
or beneficial.
I mean, I didn't personally know that this was something you could do.
I suppose that would have been something that would have been in your manual.
I guess. I don't know, maybe 20?
What was peaceful has descended into anarchy because all of a sudden India has mobilized and it now has nukes. We don't know why. There's militia in South America. I think the tech that everyone's got and the ideas that everyone's got how to win is starting to lead everybody to not care about working together anymore. People just aren't talking, which could be really bad for global terror because it's just about to hit global power.
Right, you don't understand, okay? It's not true that these prizes are not incredible.
Conclave 2 might be peaceful, and they're talking about how they would love to come and share technology and talk to us and spend time with us, but we seem to be attacking them all the time. But I think that may well indicate that
to attack them if they weren't flying down to our bloody planet. I'm increasingly wondering whether or not the aliens are something that needs to be beaten. And Japan is a traditionally non-aggressive nation. I'm worried that maybe we're preparing for a knife fight that doesn't need to be had. But I don't trust the Americans.
I've got some good news.
So,
I have something to fight now. Our Cold War was at boiling point because of increasing reserves of alien materiel in South America, which North America was doing nothing about. Faced with either an alien foothold on planet Earth or war with North America, China and Russia were discussing nuclear solutions, which involved us.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We need to upgrade our communications. So we
every time I come back to this office, that's just
right. So we
something in the corner.
So we captured an alien leader, and then we are now upgrading because we traded technology with our new trifecta of Eastern power. We have traded technology with them, which allows us to enhance our detection systems. We spend 1 point enhancing our detection systems, and in his next turn, with a +2 bonus, because we have other research already, we will be able to see if there is a secret alien base on the moon.
Yes, our alliance's secret plan was to nuke the alien base Brendan had found on the moon. Feeling very pleased with himself, he began another important project.
Oh, well, I just went to the press and said what I heard. It's not really I heard it's probably nothing, but the American president has been having an affair with an alien. That sounds like National Enquirer stuff to me. So it's probably not going to be picked up by the press.
I think the final play we have to make of the day is a summit where we talk to America. Collectively, all the nations with nukes and information as to where the alien bases are have a diplomatic summit with America, and ideally the aliens as well. Or perhaps with America acting as a liaison between the aliens and us. Do we have that in us?
I don't know. It feels like, potentially they're just under control. I mean, they say it's all peaceful, but...
Well, why don't we talk to them? When was the last time we talked to the Americans?
They wanted to talk to us, they want to cure cancer, but I don't know.
Well, should we set up a meeting right now? We could go over there right now. No one's talking to them.
Alright, let me finish my sandwich and it's done.
Okay.
Let me finish this research, and then we'll have to
wait.
This was, perhaps, the most poorly timed procrastination in Japan's history.
Invite the Prime Minister to a meeting with the other heads of state in 5 minutes' time.
Including America?
Excluding America. To discuss the fact that we now have a precise location for the alien moon base and the capability of attacking it.
This would prove to be the last turn of the game.
So we're going to start with your trip to the moon?
Do you want to hear about it?
Yes.
I only want to hear about it if it's exceptionally quick, because we have a decision to make, and that's why we've called this
Let me
meeting.
give you the less than a minute version then, okay? A proposal was put to them about withdrawing for 50 years. They agreed, it was a good idea, on the understanding that we would agree to complete nuclear disarmament of the entire planet.
I've got a worrying feeling that I am the only voice of common sense here. We've got one side of the world wanting to nuke the aliens, and all I'm trying to do, all I've let me do, I've been negotiating with the Americans to send 2 spies into South America to determine whether really the quality of life there is good, and if the Americans are telling the truth, that the aliens are letting the people there live peacefully. If that's true, nuking them could be the biggest mistake humanity ever makes.
Actual clarification, I am right in thinking, because the Americans were with you, that also included the Americans.
Yes, the American VP went along with that and agreed with me about it.
So thank you for that information. We've now all got a decision to make. We have the location of the alien moon base, and we have shared that location with other people.
We have
the
very last minute, we also have the location of their main base, the Mars base.
Oh, you have the location of the Mars base, right? Okay, we are researching that. We have the means to deliver a nuclear strike on either of those bases, and we have built that capability. We've shared that with others who I believe have also built that capability. We are ready, if this group decides, we will attack. What does this group decide?
This second in the other room, my spies reported to me that life in South America was no better under the aliens, but no worse either. And I lost my bottle.
Can we decide as a group then? I take what you say. I was assuming that we could hit Mars, but if we can't, do we hit the moon? Do we not hit anything, or do we wait until we can hit the moon and Mars?
Can I make a very quick suggestion? I just came back from talking to America. I wouldn't recommend hitting the moon on Mars until we sit down and talk to the Americans first, because I don't think they're as in the pockets of the aliens as some of us might have assumed.
Well, thank you for that. I do. Right.
It's hard to remember a time when I felt smaller.
Yeah, we may have made a huge mistake. I was quite planning to basically nuke Mars, but then we realised that we weren't actually able to nuke Mars this turn, which meant our fantastic press release about finding a Martian base may have been a bad idea.
You've done France. Done France, done Britain, done America.
So now I also have a letter from the aliens who want to come and they want me to go and visit them on Mars.
Mars is a lot like Earth, but with less
Natural light.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Welcome. Hello, not welcome. I've drank too much tea.
Right. Well, glad you could come. Sorry you weren't able to bring your own transport, but we're more than willing to provide the transport to bring you here. Why do you keep threatening us?
Well,
why are you pointing your missiles towards us?
What did you find out on Mars?
Basically, I didn't get anything out of it other than the fact that the aliens are going, why would you do that? Like, do you not think that we're going to retaliate with tremendous force? Like, if you do that, basically they see it as being, this is our chance to prove ourselves as a species, and if we retaliate against them with that kind of force, they will just deem us to be unworthy and destroy us.
We need more communication channels. We need them to stop coming into our airspace, because sometimes they land to do terror missions.
The difficulty is, last time I had the opportunity with the Mars base to have control over the situation, but I presume that other people have researched that now, and I think it's going to be out of our hands. I mean, I'm going to do my best to meet with the heads, but if we can't stop Russia and China...
Shall we just go on a full-on
charm offensive and try and just play everybody down and get
Let's
everybody
collectively,
gentle.
all four of us, do what we can in our own fields to make sure nobody attacks the alien and no one nukes anyone. And then maybe after the game, in 5, 10, 15 years, humans in the future will have a better way of dealing with it.
Alternatively, we have a meeting with the heads of states. If we cannot agree...
Do you want me to try and pull everyone together?
I don't know. While we have been sat outside discussing how to make sure the world doesn't end, Brendan has bought chocolate bars for every president in the world, which might be the answer we were looking for all along. What are you writing?
With warm regards
from Japan.
Let's solve this peacefully. And then a smiley face.
Good. If that doesn't reduce the global terror of mankind, what could? We're not sure. This is scary. So we're continuing with our plan. Paul is talking to China, the most aggressive nation, about potentially disarming. Meanwhile, I don't know what the controllers are doing, but they're talking about rolling dice. They needed a deck of intercept cards. It all sounded to me like
Well, I worry
someone's
that
launched a nuke.
Basically, unfortunately, there was a front page news story which was that the entire last UN meeting was where are we going to aim the nukes, which is kind of true but kind of not. So I'm worried that they've read that now and have just gone fuck them, and that we're basically just going to get.
I don't like that the guy rolling the dice over there is France.
Where's France?
From him. What nation is it?
The gentleman there in the check shirt. He's UK. He's the insane general.
But they just said that they were going to. The US Prime Minister said he was going to.
The UK Prime Minister. Sorry.
Yeah.
The UK Prime Minister said they would stand down. Yeah. So why are they rolling dice? It was the end of the game, but not from a nuke. It turned out that the UK was simply making a brazen commando raid on the moon base, sending in special forces teams to collect tech. And in an astonishing debrief, it was revealed that the aliens were harmless. They were only here to see if we were ready to join galactic society. There were no alien spies, only psychological warfare, no real assault on Moscow, only a distribution of advanced psychotropic drugs.
But rest assured, we have no intention of destroying your world. That is not what we are about. We're a peaceful people.
Well, my primary concern is the interests of American people.
The potential of us giving you 50 years space, but removing your nuclear weapons, has that not been explained to you?
We are talking about that now.
Because it's not for our benefit. I mean, yes, you could throw nuclear weapons out into space. You would not destroy them. Do you not realise how many of us there are?
Indeed, we do.
And destroying one small base, how do you think that would remove the problems that you have on your planet? And it's your problem.
We'd been brought to the brink of nuclear war because of the assumption they wanted our planet and the fear of the aliens attacking, when really they'd abandoned the tenets of violence and ownership long ago. We didn't win or lose. We were all just bit parts in an experiment within an experiment, players in a story that would stay with us for years. It was, as I think you can guess, the most incredible days gaming we've had in a long, long time. If you live in the UK and would like to get involved in a Megagame, a quick Google for Megagame makers will tell you everything you need to know about upcoming events. And for everybody who found this interesting, next week we're actually going to be doing a podcast where the four of us discuss just the design of this thing and our personal experiences. Because there's a lot to discuss. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye!